right, welcome back. Got some exciting stuff to show you today. Today we're doing all-in-one curriculums that I have used for the last few years. So I'm going, because I've used quite a few, some I like, some I didn't, some I like parts of. That's usually how I do it. If you've watched this channel, you know that's how I roll. Okay, so first up, of course, we have products of the day. Oh, and yesterday's video, because I try to do a video every day. Yesterday's video, it took me quite a few days to edit it, but it was if you have a child who doesn't like to homeschool or who doesn't listen to you. So it's parenting and homeschool advice that I use in my particular house. So you can take a look at that. I will attach it at the end. And let's look at our product of the day. I got a couple for you today. This one is Once Upon a Word Origin Dictionary. So the first part is the root of words, which might be interesting to some people. It is not interesting to me, in case you're wondering. However, this is what I like. I like accuse, achievement. You could just do a word a day. There's my bookmarks. Get them from Walmart. It's like a half Post-it, or I've done some videos on where to get them at. But anyway, yeah, I like that. I don't know. I'm big into, I like linguistics. I like nomenclature. It's exciting, except I guess I don't like it too much because couldn't be bothered to care about that. So that's just another option for you. So it is Word Origins, Once Upon a Word Origin Dictionary for kids. There you go. Let's talk on, so this is free. This is McGruffy's Primer. It is to teach children to read. This, for example, is lesson 3. So you're going to talk about gnat, hat, fan, and can. Gnat, hat, fan, and can. And then you just read through this. So it's free online. Just look for McGuffey's Primer. I believe there's a homeschool mom that has it. She has a link to it that you can print down the PDF. You can also buy it in book form. You just have to pay for the binding and everything. And I like that too. It has it in cursive as well. One of the all-in-one programs that I'm going to talk to you about and I'm going to show you in today is Abeka. And Abeka has the choice between cursive and, I forget, manuscript as well when you order the program. Now, I will tell you, so I'm going to give you we're going to go into a list of a few all-in-one programs, and I'm hoping to have a new one that I haven't seen before that I'm hoping to review within the next couple weeks, and it looks pretty good, but we'll see. We'll see if the company wants me to or not. But now let's talk about Abeka. I hate the Abeka kindergarten. If you watch this channel, you know that I cannot stand the Abeka kindergarten. I cannot stand it. Whatever. I don't know if you want me to get into the litany as to why I don't like it. I just don't. But I find it works good for people who have one child, a big income or a big amount of income they can put towards buying Abeka. And a lot of time, and a child who's willing to sit there and do it and everything like that, okay? So fine, I just did not meet those requirements. That being said, I love Abeka. I just don't like kindergarten. Now what I like is you can buy a lot of these books separately. So this is the history and geography. This is one. If you want an easy history, geography reader, if you want an easy science, just pick it up, read through it. Look, we're talking about symbols of America here. So I just think it's pretty good. And their science, too, at the end of their science, talking about the Pilgrims. Have y'all heard of the Pilgrims? Pretty much every... I've read about the Pilgrims in so many history curriculums, I can't even tell you. Hey, I took my kids there, and I, by myself, took my little boys there. And I have pictures of it when they were 2 and 3, and they're wearing pajamas. And a raincoat. I don't know. I was like, at least I got it together enough. If I can find the picture, I will show you. But, you know, some days are like that, where I'm like, good job. We got out. Okay, so different types of transportation, stuff like that. But the Abeka Science has questions at the end of each chapter to review, which is what I like. Fort McHenry near Baltimore, Maryland. Williamsburg. Ooh, I was thinking of going to Williamsburg. They have a homeschool thing they do once a year there. Just thinking of going because it's an hour-and-a-half drive, so it's not that far from where I am currently. But again, moving in another month or two, which is the story of my life. Okay, so you get it. And then this is my world. It goes into geography. It goes into Canada also. I am a dual citizen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just became a U.S. citizen just before voting. Very excited about that. And now I'm a Canadian citizen as well. I mean, I'm both. However, I was born in Canada, so it's accurate enough. When I read about the couple countries I've been to, it's accurate enough. Yeah. Ooh, in case you didn't know about me, a little tip I'm sharing with you. I'm a huge royalist. I'm a huge monarchist, which I know we're not supposed to talk about that stuff because no one cares, but I'm telling you, I am huge. Like, that's what I'm watching during my free time is Yeah, Meghan and Harry news, stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So I've looked in that. Now, the readers for Abeka, I think, are amazing. I did not teach my kids to read with Abeka. Instead, I used a different program and then switched them back to the readers once they learned to read, because the readers progress. The readers talk about history. The readers have a bunch of values, a bunch of just stuff I think are amazing. And I've showed you a lot on this channel. Let's talk about another homeschool program. Let's talk about Sunlight. Sunlight, I have a few years of Sunlight. I have like several years of Sunlight Science. That was a poor mistake on my part. And I stopped doing that. I would like buy ahead. If like something went on sale, I don't know if you went through that phase where something would go on sale and you would buy ahead. I have stopped that. So if you ever want a cheaper curriculum though, what you do is you call up the company. If they're on, you ask them, find out what version they're on. It's not hard. They're usually like version 5. And ask them the difference between version 4 and version 5, because sometimes it's just a few spelling corrections. And then go ahead and pick up, version 4 or whatever. Sometimes it's drastically different, but again, you could just ask the company, like, hey, can I still use version 4? Is it still good? Like, what's the difference between version 4 and version 5? And they'll tell you. Okay, so these are some of the books that came with the Sunlight. I personally don't like Sunlight. That's after having bought several years. I just find it a little too complicated, I just think there's better programs out there. However, these books were interesting. They have okay books, pretty good books sometimes. Never one that I'm like, wow, these are the best books I've ever read, but good nonetheless. Like, these are good selections. These are also some selections I want to say in My Father's World. My Father's World that I think is really well done. My Father's World I think is up there and one of my favorites. Before I forget too, another alternative is Heart of Dakota, also very good all-in-one that I've done that I don't have the book here, probably because we're not using it. I don't use it, but I did use it. Like, and I've gone through it when they were younger. And I thought it was great. My problem with Sunlight is Sunlight Science, I want to throw in the trash. I know. People always comment and are like, oh, whatever. It's personal preference. I've done a million videos as to why I loathe Sunlight Science, but it's there. And my kids are really good at science. They're really good. Like, they're quite ahead at science. And it's not because of Sunlight. I'll tell you that right now. I ditched that curriculum pretty soon on and was like, oh my gosh, I have all these years. And then I tried to give it away for free, tried to sell it, tried to give it away for free, and then ended up a lot of it just got trashed. But I do have also their Bible, their HBL. I don't like their Bible curriculum, but yeah. Okay. So Sunlight for me would be a no, but again, it's personal preference. If you do Sunlight, if you buy the whole year, you can usually get a refund if you need it within a certain amount of time. Okay, let's talk 2 secular programs that are really, really good. Torchlight. Now, it's tough when you talk an all-in-one curriculum because Torchlight's like $40 for the year. So when it's all-in-one, usually that includes, so I guess I won't include Torchlight on here because it doesn't have a math and a language arts. Same with My Father's World, you can use your own math and language arts. Abeka has language arts and math, but as I've said, I don't use either the Abeka math or language arts. It's not bad. I just have other preferences for it. But again, I have them. I've gone through them, and it's just not for me. So it's not that they're bad. It's just, again, that math and language arts are personal preference. Same with like I said, My Father's World, you can use the one they recommend or you can use your own. So when it says all-in-one, like when it says, for example, Sunlight and all-in-one curriculum, it really is like you have to choose a lot of curriculums. You have to choose their science, not their science, but you have to choose their math and language arts, okay? So which is kind of good in the sense because some kids progress at different levels through a program, through an all-in-one. So let's talk Moving Beyond the Page is another secular one. So Moving Beyond the Page. Ooh, a third one that is very good, that is secular. While I'm showing you this, let me talk about that. That is Blossom and Root. Blossom and Root is really good. I used that for a few years too. It's an easy curriculum. It's not, it's like a play-based curriculum, kind of almost a Montessori one. So this curriculum here, Moving Beyond the Page, this is 6 to 8. It does 5 to 7, 6 to 8, and 7 to 9. I have all 3 years. I don't like the 7 to 9, but we still utilize it. But I think the 6 to 8 is really where they shine. And again, there's math included in here and language arts included in here, but not a learn how to read curriculum and not a math curriculum. You'd have to buy those separately. Well, they do sell them though. They do sell them, but I haven't done them because of the way their programs are set up. I thought I was purchasing it and then didn't end up with it. So, But anyway, what I'm getting at is history, science, math, everything is mixed in here. History, science, social studies, math, language arts, all mixed in. But again, learning to read and math. They got a little bit of math in here, but not too much. So leaders in America. This is when the Saints go marching in. Yankee Doodle, American culture. Create a map of American culture. The first Thanksgiving food. So they just have, to me, they have the neatest worksheets ever. Colonial construction. You need 52 logs to build a shed. Cover the logs you need. See, so it has, so essentially you would read a book. They also have activities outside of this, and their activities box, their materials box, the most organized material box I've ever seen. It is an A+ materials box. If you, especially if I had it and I opened it up to you right now and I put sunlights here and I put the moving beyond the page here, you would see, you'd think this was like a pile of trash, like someone had gone through and just used it already. It's like, no, that's how it comes. You have to dig through, find the parts, and they're very obscure things. You can't find them on your own. Whereas these, very organized. I mean, it's written on the box, and then it's written on each bag. Week 1, week 2, week 3, like super, super organized. So great. So good services and jobs. Also, if you want to get a little bit, save some money off this curriculum, what you can do is you can get the online version. I hear it's a bit cheaper, but yeah, I really like it. I use it in conjunction with other curriculums because it's just, I don't know, my kids find it super interesting. I mean, I guess we're over this one, like we did this one, and you notice there's not a lot of writing. That's because we do it a lot orally, or I skip a lot. Color each nation in Africa. Trying African food. So it's different. This one's cultures, right? It's divided into 4 concepts. Culture, where are the other ones? It'll tell you on the back here. Community, relationships, culture, and matter and movement. And so science, history, all these things are mixed in, but they are concentrated in certain parts. Like you'll have, so for example, matter and movement, you'll obviously have more science, but you still will have some science mixed into those. So very interesting. I quite like it. But I did a full video, like a full review on moving beyond the page because I'm torn as to the next year as to whether I like it or not. But again, that's personal preference. Okay, another couple that we can talk about that I have used and haven't used successfully. Easy peasy, I didn't use successfully. I like a printable curriculum, so I just didn't use it successfully. I tried. It's just, I don't know. I don't find it that easy to navigate. But again, anytime you get a new curriculum, anytime you get something new, I like open and go. That's why I like my Father's World, because it's very like open and go. And bonus, you can resell that teacher's manual for like $75. Like it's a hot item that I don't know, it holds its value. It does. So next is Me Academy. Me Academy I have used, not really successfully. I've tried a few times to actually use it successfully. What I mean is I sign everybody up, we go through all we go through it all, we try it all, but it's just the fact that I homeschool a specific way. I love the videos for Me Academy, but I didn't find that my kids were really old enough to utilize it as much as they should have. Like they're not independent enough on the computer yet, even though they are, they're still under 10. So they are, my son's turning 9, but they're just not independent enough. Like I would have to sit there with them and kind of go through it. And that's not my thing. And I wanted something offline as well, but I love it. I thought it was great. I know it sounds weird. I loved it, thought it was great, but it's just not a fit for us. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's not good. It's just not a fit for us. But I do find their videos very engaging. The next is Ambleside Online. I thought was pretty good, and I did. I found it easy to utilize, especially if you want like art programs, if you want not math, but if you wanted art and music and things like that on there, art history, learn to draw. I think Ambleside Online is great for that, for literature and stuff. Like you could go on there and almost pull off things from the curriculum for there, print them off, and then fill in the rest of the things. Like, oh, I want an in-person science curriculum, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want to buy a science curriculum and things like that. But I think, yeah, I do. I like Ambleside Online. So anyway, there is a few options for you for all-in-one curriculums. So you can go take a look at them and see what you think. These are just the ones that I have utilized in the last few years. Okay. Tune in tomorrow for something else. What? I don't even know.